yeah, I had multiple 200K plus days, loads of 100K plus days, got hacked for 97K in that same period of time. You want to find that one offer that crushes and you scale it, and that can take you to 5-6 figures a day.
I have a very special guest for you, super affiliate, ClickBank top G, Thomas Owen, Neutra King. My man, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I hope that intro served you pretty well, eh?
Yeah, it did, man. I appreciate it. It's been a while, right?
I know, man. Good to have you back in the scene. So just so everyone, I know a lot of people do know who you are if they've been in the digital online ad buying space for a few years now. But for anyone new that's listening, who are you and what's the biggest day you've ever had running traffic online?
Yeah. All right. So obviously, Thomas, I'm in the UK and I've been an affiliate for the last 5 years. 2020 is when I really started. Before that was doing the social media marketing agency. So I had experience in Facebook ads, but fully transitioned to affiliate in 2020, and literally the game changed. So I'd gone from stressed out to death with 30 clients in an agency to then just tossing it off. We moved to Portugal for a year, moved to Dubai, and just the game changed, right? We bought our dream house in the UK, and biggest day was around 230K in one day. Yeah, 230K on a Neutra offer, weight loss offer. I guess a few people will probably have seen similar days. It was called Exapure, which was, I think, 2022, which was just an insane period of time for the Neutra space, right? The ClickBank VSL offers. This offer had just come about. They'd launched an offer called Metacore the year before, which had crushed, but got kicked off ClickBank, moved to Digistore. A lot of people did well with it. And then they launched Exapure the year after, and it was bananas. Like, it was crazy. So I had multiple 200K plus days, loads of 100K plus days, got hacked for 97K in that same period of time, which was fucking naughty. But like at the time I was doing like 50-60K profit a day. So it was like a couple of days and it's sort of wiped that out. I don't think I would have been too happy if it had been at the start where I was maybe doing 2-3K a day. Do you know what I mean?
Oh man. Yeah. I actually just filmed a YouTube video talking about how I got hacked a year and a half ago for like 60K. And
oh shit.
like, yeah, so I know the pain, man. And I don't know if you had like Amex or what credit card you were using, or that was a prepaid credit line for you, right?
That was agency accounts, man. Yeah, they got into my, like, so it was this is the thing, right? This is the beauty of the game, is the experience that, like, you carve the path, right? And so like at the time, stupidly, I was renting profiles through this source, and then obviously adding agency accounts to the profile BM. But the profiles were real profiles. They were like cash hungry students or bums, because you only had to look on their profile to see that they were messaging each other, and you had to do these message chains. Should have been a major red flag. These chains to get $5 and shit. Like, these guys were fucking sucking dicks for cheeseburgers, right? It was so like the flags were there and I ignored them. And then we were living in Portugal at the time. And I remember it. We'd just gone into Leroy Merlin, which is like a hardware store, tin roof, no signal as soon as you step in. And I heard my Telegram notification as I was going in. We had the kids. And then halfway through the store, I checked the message and it was like, you look like you're spending pretty heavy and it's only like an hour into the day. I was like, what the fuck? And it's like 97K. I was like, oh shit, that's not me. And I didn't catch it. Someone had been in, added their profile as an admin, launched like 100 or however many hundred $3,000 a day ad sets to this credit card phishing. Yeah, fucking motherfuckers. So yeah, 97K down, had to pay it. Thankfully, the agency account didn't make me pay the fees, the fucking twats, but I still had to pay the 97K.
Nah, they should have gotten you a refund on that, man.
But yeah, no, it didn't happen, man. So yeah, 97K down. But again, like at the time, the offer was just crushing. The campaigns were just cranking, so it didn't hurt too long.
So, well, that's what she said. But then, so at that time when you were hitting these quarter million-dollar day was like the peak. But even around then, you had 100, 150, $200,000 a day in revenue. You're seeing what, like a 20 to 30% ROI on that?
Yeah, this offer was yeah, it was around 30 to 40%, like on good days, which was insane. And that kind of volume is nuts.
What's changed here in 2025 for those same kind of like weight loss offers versus 2022 when you were able to do that?
So for me, I don't run weight loss anymore. I think, the type of ways that people are running stuff and really doing the big numbers isn't what I really want to do. Like there's a lot of deep fakes and a lot of those kind of style ads that are crushing that I see. I've gone more into sort of not micro markets, but like sort of micro, smaller campaigns where I'm not crushing one campaign to six figures a day. I may be building like a little portfolio of 4 or 5 figure a day campaigns, and I'm quite happy, easy to manage, less stress, less competition, less saturation in different markets, but usually all in the men's health space: prostate, ED, male enhancement, men's hair loss, testosterone. Those are the type of markets that I'm playing in at the moment.
So in my group, there's like a decent amount of guys that are coming into the affiliate space or they do e-com. They want to try something different. They're always asking about Neutra, and I don't really. It's not my thing, right? I'm very focused on legal and then some insurance offers. What's some advice you'd have for someone that's just starting out?
So this is something that I've done in the last few months, and it's been a real game changer. And that's obviously the competition is fierce in any health offer, right? There's always going to be competition, whether it's weight loss, neuropathy, blood sugar. Competition's rife when you go into these health markets. The thing that's really helped me the last few months has been drilling into avatars. So like, everyone's targeting 62-year-old Sally and selling her whatever, right? But like going into it and really understanding the offer and the market or different markets for that offer, different demographics, different avatars has helped massively. So it's one big thing that I do every time now when launching a new offer is one of the big tests is we're launching different segments of the market, micro markets. So we'll launch like 49-year-old Frank, who's a mechanic, who's got neuropathy in his hands, or, like the young athlete, or we're just trying to hit untapped markets that we can scale into that aren't saturated already, because most of the 65 plus market is really saturated, fatigued. Like you see the CPMs, you can see that the conversion rates have really dropped recently. So yeah, like that's been a big game changer is really drilling into the different segments.
So when you build the creative, I'm a believer that the creative basically almost always should create the targeting. So we run everything 18 to 65 plus, unless like with auto insurance, like which has been the bane of my existence. I've only lost money doing it. That would still over deliver to like 65 plus, probably because the messaging wasn't age specific. But do you, on the ad buying side, let's say you're building it for 25-year-old Timmy that has whatever health issue, are you also capping age at like 30, or do you run broad and you see it actually delivers to that age demo?
Yeah, so we run broad to start off with, to then sort of see where we want to spend it, like if we need to sort of guide Facebook a little more, but usually start broad and again use those sort of avatars within the creative and the ad copy to sort of guide Facebook into who we want to target. And 9 times out of 10, it does its job. Do you know what I mean? Like we do see the creative and the copy, the angle that, whether it's a demographic that we're talking about, we do see it sort of stay down that path. And then as we get data, we start to optimize. One of my favorite optimizations is Dayparting. You obviously do that anyway with lead gen, but like it's just such a big needle mover, and I've done it since 2020. And those big days with the 200K plus were all Dayparting campaigns, just allocating the budget to only run between the hours that converted, right? So we'd find like an 8 or 10 hour block of time, like consecutive hours, and only run during that window. And obviously just focus the budget there and just clean up.
But now that you're running more direct, you probably get full transparency into the actual conversions. You're not getting scrubbed. You're not having to worry
Yeah.
maybe as much about bids that are rejecting and like they're not sharing that information with you. So, what's the difference you see running direct with an offer owner or an advertiser versus running on like ClickBank or Digistore? Nothing against those platforms. Like there's plenty of guys
No.
agree with them. But
Yeah,
just like,
listen, I love those platforms.
yep.
Yeah, for me, it's transparency is definitely one thing, but I think, buy goods, ClickBank, again, fairly transparent. But for me, it's the ability to sort of pass on what I see in on the front end of the ad, and also like be able to sort of suggest different things that may be tested. A good example of this was we're doing a lot of digital offers at the moment. We have a $69 digital offer that we were trying to scale outside of the US because the US is obviously a little bit more competitive and expensive. We just weren't able to get it to work. The price was too high, and we're running worldwide. So we decided to implement a $7 test on a pricing test. So drop the front end price to $7 from 69, which is a huge drop, and it fucking crushed. So now, like, we're able to scale, but still maintain a decent AOV because obviously the upsells, the order bumps can stack it up, and it's we're paying like $8-9 CPA to get these $55-60 payouts.
Wow.
So yeah, it's insane, and in geos that you just never think to run. There's African countries that African's one of the biggest markets in the world, right? And it's progressively getting bigger and bigger. Everyone's getting phones, they've got Wi-Fi connections now, like banking, etc. It's really developing fast, and CPMs are like $2-3 in some of those countries, right? So again, we're an affiliate, so I'm all about making money, but we talk with the offer owner, the vendor. Obviously we're working direct to make sure that these are still backing out. Obviously we're not just sending loads of junk traffic, junk sales that aren't going to ever, buy anything else. These guys are still buying stuff. So yeah, it's working really well.
So when you run to these other markets and you're able to play with the price points, what advice do you have for someone that's maybe really struggling to make a ClickBank offer or Digistore offer work? How would they look at transitioning to these types of offers? And also, what's the trade-off with that? Because it's always like a double-edged sword, right? Like, let's say you get the higher ROI, less competition, but what's it costing you? Is there like a capacity to scale there that you're limited or something else?
Well, I mean, like, I want to scale. I'm not too bothered about scale, like crazy scale. Like, I want consistency now. Like, I've had the crazy scale, and like all it does is raise my blood pressure. Like, I'm stressed out to death. Like, can't leave the computer just in case. You're spending 6 figures a day. It's
Something
as
great.
much as it's great to have the return. Like, it's not a nice way to, like, you can't even leave. Like, that 97K hack was, my missus was pissed off for days that we had to abandon the shopping cart and go home. So
I know.
yeah, for me, like, I'm happy with consistency. So I want campaigns that are minimum. Like, I don't have to spend hours a day in the ad account, 15 minutes a day, having a quick check, and that's it. Make some quick optimizations and then move to the next campaign, or move, do whatever I want to do, spend the day with the kids. And that's all I'm about. Like, that's really what I want to do. So going back to the question, someone who's struggling to make buy goods or ClickBank offers, I think those offers still crush, right? Like, the offer is the pinnacle. Like, the offer is the crucial piece of the puzzle, like, no matter what. Like, and as an affiliate, it's the one thing that we don't control. Like, we can't, especially if you're new or a beginner, you can't, use leverage to persuade the vendor to change something in the offer. You make do. So the only thing you can do is just change offers, right? And for me, like, I've gone through periods where I'm testing 10, 15, 20 plus offers before I find something that's working. So, it's quick testing, it's aggressive testing, and it's moving on to something different. I'm not spending more than what I'm willing to lose on testing an offer to see if it's got legs before I move to the next one. I know some people will want to put more into it to give it a fairer shot, but for me, I think like an offer shows itself early. Like I should see legs in the first day. Like if I'm not seeing, after the first few $100s, I'm not seeing any, pockets of profit, then I'll just cut it and move to the next one.
I see the same thing with the legal offers. So like we were talking numbers before. It could be like maybe 1 in 10 will actually scale them, but like 1 in 20 will be hot, right? And usually that's where I see a disproportional arbitrage where we launch it. It's a brand new because it's like a experimental tort or case for the attorneys. They want to just no one's ever run it. It's literally a brand new offer to the market. It's usually like a hyper niche single state or like super hyper specific to like we ran Mormon sex abuse for the last year. And that's
Nice.
pretty freaking specific, even if it's
Yeah.
and it was 5 states, I think maybe nationwide before they narrowed it down. But at first it was a disproportional, extremely inexpensive leads and like above average conversion rate. And that always shrinks as you scale because like this isn't mass market weight loss, right? But the trade-off is we get these arbitrages that are like crazy at first for maybe the first like month or so. It sounds like you see the same kind of trend.
Yeah, we do. So I guess, like with these low CP, like especially international, like I'm a massive advocate of advertising outside the US. Like I'll still include the US, but like I love campaigns that'll just like sing, nicely, consistently. And like I've ran international traffic since starting. Like it's been a big part. I've had phases where I've only focused on US, but it's like it's a big world out there, right? Like it doesn't make much sense to just stick to the US, the most crowded market in the world. Equally, like they're probably the biggest buyer market, but everyone's got money everywhere around the world, so it makes sense. And now everyone's
as an
connected.
affiliate, as an affiliate, let's add that as a caveat too, because like let's say you're the off-roader, like
Yeah,
it could make sense because maybe you lose money on that first sale or transaction, but you're getting paid for the next 3 months or 6 months or 12 months with no ads.
yeah, yeah.
How did you build were these relationships that like these opportunities that have come up for these more niche higher margin digital offers, were these just relationships like just from the last 4 or 5 years of doing what you do, or any
Yeah,
advice for someone looking to build those types of relationships?
everything, like all connections outside of ClickBank, Buy Goods, and the networks have all come from attending events. So the guys that I was running traffic for them, these guys that I'm doing a lot of work with at the moment. I was already running traffic with them, but I'd never met them face to face. We just, ran a few of their offers. And then at, I think it was Vegas, Affiliate Summit West, right? ASW is Vegas. There, I met them, the guy face to face. So yeah, like that's a big thing. Events are huge, man. Like the little side events, the chandelier bar, the little events around the event, the big event. I didn't go to the big event. I just went to little masterminds around it, and that's where, for me, that's where the money's made in just those, personal, intricate, like sort of face to face, small get-togethers.
Always, man. And I think that's super underrated because like one of the biggest questions I get asked in my Telegram chat is what's the best networks or like what's the best offers, especially as you're new. I'm like, dude, I could give you 5 networks or offers. They may not even approve you just because they don't know you. Like, just get your ass on a plane, invest the money, and go to Vegas for one of these events, or even affiliate world. Like, you'll still meet good, even if the show, in my opinion, has gotten very black hat. Like, I don't the stuff that's like the vendor boost isn't really stuff I would personally run, but
No.
still, my friends that run like insurance offers or like buy traffic for those types of like more white hat stuff I do, they still go and hang out, right? It's still like an excuse to go, you know. So I think like what other piece of advice would you have for someone aside from just getting their butt off the couch and going to events?
I think in terms of like for me, that has been a big one, but also just getting leverage, right? Like being able to use leverage, and obviously that's come from running offers. Like I think, like I'm a big advocate of just maybe not losing money or losing your ass, But like sending traffic to an offer, it doesn't always have to be profitable, or it doesn't have to be always making a super huge amount of money. Because for me, a lot of my offers have become profitable after breaking even or being slightly profitable, but then being able to negotiate a bump in commission or payout, right? Or take a percentage of the back end with a JV. Those have come from me being willing to sort of, help the vendor out, be able to just, be loyal in sending them traffic. And then obviously, there's still offers that I have now that I've JV'd on that I ran traffic for to help them test the VSL initially, but still kick back between 1 and 2K a day. And I haven't touched the offer for like 18 months.
That's sick, man. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's you have to almost, well, you're telling it right now, and it's totally true. But this is something most people won't tell you, and you almost have to like learn on your own. At least I did. I did when you first come into affiliate space and you don't know anyone. Let's say you even go to a show, you'll meet the network and they'll offer you like $30 on a payout. When in reality, the end buyer, processor, sales team is paying 50.
Oh,
Right?
easy. Yep.
That's the margin. In
Yep.
reality, they're paying 30 because they know it's hard to get 30 and they don't want to do it. So they'll guarantee you a $30 payout if you could produce the lead because there's margin for them guaranteed. Right.
Yep.
So I think that that's super important, man. Is like once you become more valuable, and this is hard, especially when someone's new and they don't have a lot of capital, like building that, you're really investing in the relationship financially to show them you can fucking bring it, and I think that not enough people understand this. They're not patient enough because
That's it. But it happens fast. That's like slow is fast. Like the slow approach is always a fast approach, man. Like in this space, because everyone, like I think now, like the days that I've had, like when I see a few $100s or a couple of K a day, it doesn't excite me because I've been used to the big numbers. But like, so like my instant reaction is like I want to spend 5K a day, 10K a day on this offer straight off the bat. But it's like, fuck, like literally last week I was like, I'm going slow. I spent $250 day one and it did 100% ROI. And like by day four, I think I was spending 5K a day. So like that's a 5 day window to go from 250 to 5K. So like, whereas if I'd have started with 5K a day, I probably would have lost my ass and then cut the offer and never seen the profit, right? But I started slower and then just built up within a few days. And like I think $250 a day is affordable for a lot of people starting out. I know not for everyone, but yeah, I think so many ways, man. Like when I think to when I first started, I had maybe $4,000 or $5,000 as a float, and that was to tie me over until the payout started rolling in. And
wow.
then yeah, and but that first 9 months or whatever it was like I think I did 1.4 million, like the first few months of doing it, right? And I started with 5K and I never dipped into anything else. Like I just reinvested profits back into scaling the campaigns. And then from there, like the next year was 5 million and then 7 million. And then it's like it grows, it adds up quick.
But
And even talking about all that, it's like 5 years. 5 years I know is, a decent amount of time, but ultimately it's not that long amount of time. And now we've
looks like
done like,
that.
yeah, well north of $25 million in affiliate commissions. And it's insane how this game can just fucking change your life, man.
It doesn't change. It doesn't happen fast, but when it does happen, it happens like quick. I think is
Very quick.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like and you're one campaign away, in the words of fucking whatever
Russell
his name,
Brunson.
funnel away guy. Yeah, you're one campaign away or one funnel away, and you're only one offer away. You only need to find that one offer that crushes, and you scale it, and that can take you to 5, 6 figures a day.
Dude, and I think I talk a lot about not being cheap, but being like frugal, and how if you just keep your life in check, you don't let lifestyle creep get you. Like you could change, you could create like generational wealth if you do a couple of the right things in a sustained period of time of even like 1 to 2 years. Like my life has completely financially changed in the last 18 months, even more like 10 times more than it did the prior 18, which was a great 18 months also.
Yeah, yeah. That's
It's
amazing,
wild,
man.
dude. I
Yeah.
wish more people would understand that too. Like, but that's not sexy. There's nothing fun about telling a 20-year-old to not buy a Lambo when they hit 5K.
Yeah.
You
They've got to get out of the system, I think. Like I also think that you could tell people whatever they want to hear, but or whatever they don't want to hear. Like no one takes it in until they actually run into those roadblocks. I think people have got to like stumble down the path a little bit and fall off and fall into the fucking nettles and shit like that a little bit, right? To then learn the lesson because there's lessons learned every day. Like the 97K hack happened and it fucking bit me in the ass, but like I've never been hacked since. And then like cash flow was a huge bottleneck and issue that I ran into during that same period. Is like, oh shit, my banking is halting payments because I'm getting paid $750,000 within a 3 day period. And now, so then, because I was using, I think, Wise or Revolut or something like that. And it was like, you need to send all the transactions, all the receipts, all the invoices. And I was like, oh my God. And they'd hold it for 48 hours. Well, like that fucks up cash flow a lot when you're spending that amount of money. So then, like you just, when you don't have, anyone to learn from, you got to learn this shit yourself. Like you have to run into those walls to find out about it. And then you always, have that in mind. That's never going to bite you in the ass again because you already learned the hard way.
Dude, I think also we're lucky in the sense it would be cool if we were like 20-year-olds just printing, but I think also like both of us got into this in our 30s, man. Like we made the same kind of like stupid financial mistakes, probably at a much smaller scale that we were easy. Like I remember I bought a Range Rover when I was like 23 or 24 because I had like one big month with my first business. And
Nice.
I mean, that could have been like a Ferrari mistake when I wasn't in a position to, and I like suffered financially and learned through that. Like I want a Range Rover again, and I could easily go buy one right now. But like I also know I don't need it, But I think
Yeah.
when you make those mistakes early before things really take off for you, it sets you up when the scale is bigger, right? Because you learn the hard lesson at a small scale when it felt just as painful,
Yep. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, definitely.
But before you were doing agency, you were doing like trade work, right?
So yeah, man, I was it wasn't trade work, I was a like care worker for like, young kids with behavioral difficulties. So like it was sort of like care units for kids like on the verge of going to Borstal or young offenders.
Yeah.
So it's just,
At risk youth.
yeah, just bell ends, just little kids that obviously had real shit lives.
Bro, I gotta pause you.
And
What does bellends mean? I don't speak the same language.
bell end, the end of your knob, the bell end.
This is my favorite. Guys, just so everyone knows, Thomas and I will send messages. Voice notes are the best. And he's 10 times more inappropriate. And I have to ask him at least what 10% of the words he says are. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize, but
No,
yeah,
best.
these kids were just like they were fucked. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, they wouldn't think twice about attacking you with a knife or if they were able to get one. So yeah, it was a stressful job, and like I was desperate to leave. Like I was like driving to work and at this time we're like living in a 3 bed, just a small Harry Potter house that you see on Harry Potter, and like driving to work just thinking, should I just fucking crash the car just so I don't have to go to work? So I've got an excuse. Do you know what I mean? You get to that level and it's like, fuck, that's definitely not how you should be living.
But how'd you come across what year and how'd you come across this MMA, like marketing agency?
So I quit my job in 2017, but like I'd started finding ways to make money in 2012. So I started on eBay and, just selling, flipping BlackBerry phones. And then I'm never making too much, but making a few quid, right? Some pocket money. And then in 2017, it was like the time when Dan Henry was around, right? Or he still is. Yeah. So that's what I remember. But I think I saw a friend of mine, who posted like Dan Henry had a thing where it was like just post on your Facebook wall. You're looking for free people to do whatever. And so I saw a guy doing that, and I asked him what he was doing. He told me, And then I started doing or looking into that. And then I found another guy called Bobby Stocks,
I
who at
know
the time
Bobby.
was this, yeah, Bobby's a fucking G. So Bobby is the reason why I quit my job. So like I'd been trying for these years to quit my job, and I just need to make 10K a month to be able to quit my job. And then I found Bobby, and Bobby was like, I didn't have any money at this time. Bobby was like, he announced on his Facebook thing, whoever names my Facebook group for my new course is going to get free access and a free call. And so he chose me, and I had a free call. And basically, 4 weeks after that call, I quit my job. So like, it's fucking mad, man. Like 5 years of struggling, shiny objects, in debt, making no money. And then within 4 weeks, just with someone's guidance, just like a little gentle, like a shove, right? Some reassurance that I was able to quit my job. But then obviously ultimately landed myself with like 30 bosses with this agency and was just like stressed to death, like barely clearing like 8, 9K profit to like, I'm
Right.
working like 15, 16 hour days, man.
It's
It was
wild, but
shit.
dude, it goes back to what we are saying. It doesn't happen fast, but when it happens, it's quick. You know.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Man.
would you ever start an agency again, but like do it differently?
Yeah. I mean, I've thought about it. I don't think I'd do the agency thing like in that sense, like not definitely not the client basis. I do like the performance based models, like with I know a few guys that are doing it now who are working directly with vendors on a performance basis and building that agency that way, which I like the look of. But ultimately, yeah, I've got other projects that I'm focused on. I can't take too much on my plate because otherwise nothing gets done.
For sure. So
Yeah.
speaking of what you're doing now, man, we know what you're doing on the actual offer traffic side. You have your own community as well, right? Where you're teaching guys. What exactly are you teaching them?
So I'm basically laying out the steps that I took, right? And obviously the bottlenecks and the hurdles that I've run into. But even more than that, I think, what I really try and pride myself on is like I'm in the trenches every day. Like I am still doing this, right? I'm not the guru that's just, was doing this years ago and hasn't touched an ad in 10 years. Like I am still doing it. So I guess I'm just there to try and help people sort of follow the same path. Like it changed my life. Like affiliate ads, etc., etc. Like really did fucking change the game for me. And now I'm just trying to sort of pass that down to other people that where I was, right, who were looking because I remember. Man, like at the time when I was starting to make money, I would have given money to anyone who would have like sort of mentored me or took me under the wing, who knew what they were doing. But like at the time, there wasn't many. There was a couple, but there wasn't many people doing it at the level that I wanted it done at. Do you know what I mean? So
A lot of
I guess
gatekeeping.
yeah, yeah, big time. So like, yeah, I'm just trying to, and then also trying to help with like the leverage side and offers that aren't as accessible, private offers and exclusives, using my leverage to then pass on to people who are maybe starting out or haven't got that leverage to sort of get access to those offers.
It's cool, man. How can people connect with you, learn more about you, find your group? Obviously, we'll link back, but just what do you want to
Yeah,
share?
I think YouTube is probably the best place. Thomas Owen Ad Profits Academy is the best place to find the content. I'm trying to put out consistent content there, and then Instagram as well is probably like I'm starting to become active on Instagram. I'm not a big social media guy, to be fair. Like, weirdly, I just run loads of ads, but like I'm a bit of an introvert in that sense of things. But I'm trying to become a little bit more active and consistent with it. But Instagram and YouTube is probably the best places to find more about me.
Cool, man. Anything else you like to share with everyone listening?
I don't know, man. Yeah, like I'm open to talk to anyone as well. Like not just to come in. Like you don't want to join the community, you don't have to join the community. But I like meeting new people. I think like that's a huge thing for me. Is like connections, opportunities come from connection. Whether it's like a job, whether it's a performance deal, whether it's a vendor. Like I just like connecting with people, and I'll be getting to more events. I think I'm going to be in Budapest for Affiliate World Europe in I think that's next
Few
month, right?
weeks?
September.
Yeah.
Yes, a few weeks. So I'll be there. So again, anyone, I don't know when this goes out, but yeah. come and say hello if you're there.
Sweet as, man. Bro, I appreciate you. Thank you for everything you shared. I'm sure this is going to be relatable to a lot of people that have already kind of hit their initial goals and done pretty well, but also like people starting out new, because you get perspective that I can't really share when it comes to like cracking Neutra offers and everything. I just haven't done it, you know. So I think a lot of people are going to appreciate this.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me on.
Cheers, man. We'll see you next time.